Hey, what is happening, everyone? Welcome to episode 21 of the Lifting Ugly podcast. Podcast so fresh, we have no expiration date. We do not spoil. We stay fresh.
Preservatives. Nice.
That's right. We have, let's see, let me try and get this back in order. There we go. I am Craig Bird, and the man now to my right, but on my left as well. Stage left, there you go. Is none other than.
Hi, I'm out.
Nice to meet you. So, anyone, any regular viewers that there might be out there, somehow we have switched places. I'm not quite sure how that's worked, but we are on opposite sides of the screen.
You know, let's just shake things up. Maybe the camera was like, "Oh, I'm getting bored. It's time to do something new."
To shake it up.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm in a room now.
You are in a room, and we have matching flags. How cute is that? We do.
So when I was setting up the room with my parents yesterday, I was like, I have to have the flag in the background.
That is adorable. And anyone who is watching can see this is a Bro Down Sunday where we are wearing each broing out with our tank tops on.
We are big time. Like the guns are out. Like that's a rare sighting, actually. Craig Bird in a tank top. That doesn't happen very often.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't. Yeah, not very often. It just kind of felt like that kind of day.
Just guns out for the Lord's Day.
That's right. My celebration. I have to show what I am thankful for on this, the Lord's Day.
WWJJD. What would Jack Jesus do?
He would give thanks for the muscles.
Yeah.
So how's everything going on your end? You said
good.
You just moved into a new room.
Yeah, let's take a little tour. We got the bed over there.
That's where all the magic doesn't happen.
That's where all the nothing ever happens ever. Because nothing ever happens.
Nothing we want to talk about on
that will make you completely depressed and make you feel sorry for me.
And then you have your Hawaiian flag up, I see, as well.
I do. We have to always. I also have these cute little Hawaiian Islands above my TV.
That is cute.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can think of home.
I can never forget where I come from.
That's right. Keep it fresh in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, how's mom's doing?
Good. It was a good trip. I showed them around town. We ate at some killer spots. Didn't have time to do everything I wanted to do just because their main goal was to help me move into my room, and that was the journey they decided to take. So I'm not mad about it, but it's good. It was a lot of fun. I just kind of wish I got more time off of work, but it's all good.
Make the best of it.
Mm-hmm. Now I just got to get my ass back home.
Back home to Hawaii?
Hawaii. Now that the COVID rules are non-existent anymore and I can live my life freely.
Right. It's the blessings of an election year, midterm elections.
Yeah. Hey, look, they saved the day.
That's right.
They expelled COVID.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
It's a Festivus miracle.
Yeah, just in time for midterm elections.
Yeah. Who would have ever seen that coming?
I don't know anyone with a fucking brain.
Yeah. You'd see that shit a mile away. Anyway, so how'd training go this week? Was it interrupted by your move or?
It was. I got primary bench done, which was good. I got my deadlifts done, which was good. I pulled 605 for a double pain-free, which is kind of nice. I got my secondary bench done, and if I get called off of work today, I'm going to go get my squats in. But it's St. Patty's weekend, and this weekend was absolutely batshit crazy. So I'm hoping it's not going to be crazy busy so I can kind of go get my squats done. But if not, I let Ryan know, and he's understanding of the situation. So
right.
Hopefully I get called off. Fingers crossed.
Well, it is also NCAA basketball tournament time, so
Oh, basketball.
yeah, sports ball.
Sports ball. I just want both teams to have fun. That's all I care about.
Go sports. Everyone goes home a winner.
Go sports, man. Go
That's
sports.
Right. Go sports indeed. I'm trying to think. I had a very uneventful. I did more volume this week, so it's very uneventful. And just kind of kept everything a little bit lighter with squats. And my bench, I was able to do 315 for, I just did sets of 8.
Ooh.
To keep from things locking up. And then squats, I did 415 for sets of 5x5.
Oh.
For at 415, and then I did 315 or 325 5x5 box squats afterwards. So that was fun. That was an enjoyable experience.
Sounds awful.
Yeah.
Not jealous at all.
Deadlifts was 405 for sets of 10 to make it even more fun.
Who hurt you this week?
Maybe nobody did, and that's why I had to hurt myself.
Hey, no one hates me like me.
I felt neglected because I hadn't had the pain inflicted on me by others, so I had to go handle business on my own.
Mm-hmm. That's for so you just bring the pain on your own.
Bring the pain.
Bring the pain.
That's what we have to, just like the Wu-Tang. They come to bring the pain hardcore to your door.
Protect your own neck, Craig.
I have to. So nobody. If I leave it up to anybody else, it is not going to happen. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this, our episode 21 of the Lifting Ugly podcast. I am coming to you from Monument Fitness in the lovely city of Grand Junction in Western Colorado. If you ever come by, feel free to hit me up and we can get you in for a workout. You can visit us at monument.fitness on Instagram if you so desire, or monumentfitness.com on the old intranet. And you check things out there as well. Alkai here is coming to you from a new room in San Diego.
Mm-hmm. With no sirens because I'm not next to a main junction, which is kind of nice.
It's
a quiet neighborhood over here.
Siren free.
Siren free for the most part. I live across from a elementary school and a rec center, so.
Oh, okay.
Nice and quiet.
So the only time you'd hear sirens is if something really bad was happening.
Yeah, so if something really, yeah, pretty much.
Okay, and I just fixed this here for anyone else. Anyone wants to check out Alkai and what he's got going on. Da-da-da, look.
Oh, look at that.
Are they both right?
They're both right, and they're both right there.
At Pico, Piko _ powerlifting. Or free from the federal thumb of the United States government. At Bellies _ benching. That's right. He can feel free. Fuck is that noise? All right. Something's buzzing around here. Needs to stop. It's annoying the shit out of me. That sounds like a robot.
I mean, I got nothing. I don't hear anything.
Okay. Maybe I just need to hold still. Just keep it calm. Keep it loose. All right.
Extra.
All right. And anyone that wants to check out the show, what we've got going on, what we post, just the different things that different shenanigans we get up to, you can see us on Instagram, which is the majority of where things get posted, at lifting _ ugly. You can search us at lift or lifting ugly. You can check out the Facebook page, but I seem to get banned off of there more often than not. So most things don't get posted on there anymore.
I feel like Facebook's worse than Instagram now. Like you can't do anything.
No, I posted something. I don't even see what they like. I don't remember what it was, but I know that like I reread it and I couldn't see what the issue was. And they're like, you violated our standard, so you can't post or react or do anything for 7 days. And
Were you being a bully, Craig?
Well, probably, but it was a lot too. Like I say, really, like I can say some terrible things to some people, and it's usually in good fun.
Oh, totally, always.
And then just this one was like fairly innocent, I thought, but they weren't having it. They thought it was completely out of line. I mean, okay, so this week I had
context.
I had a couple good ones that were no issue.
Yep.
Randy had posted something on St. Patrick's Day about if you pinch me, I'm going to punch you, and he's like, this is he's like this has happened to me 3 times already today, and I was like, I thought,
well, yeah.
I said I thought the courts told you had to stay away from children. So like, there's no issue with that. Like nobody had a problem with that one.
No.
And then I follow the Axe and Sledge group on Facebook just because Jack sent me, a lot of memes from there, and so I joined just to kind of. There's a lot of douchey fuckers on there. They say a lot of really stupid things, and so this guy posted, and he said my ex told me I was getting too big from working out at the gym all the time. And so then everyone's like, oh, you don't need that. No, that's why they're next. And so I commented, he lied to you.
You have some room to grow, bud. Calm down.
Yeah. So I added the he just to, as a little extra dig.
Like your boyfriend needs to calm down. Everything's going to be just fine.
But nobody had an issue with that. Like I get reported for that, and then just some random one. They're like, oh, sorry, no more Facebook for you for a week. That's too bad.
I like how they're just so quick to ban you for a week. Like it's not even a day. They're already just like, all right, Craig Bird on the watch list.
Well, yeah, it is. So now it's like I'm like under like heavy surveillance by the Facebook government,
by the Zuckerberg lizards that run the show.
Yeah. Well, and it's the dumbest thing. So it's just stupid.
Well, at least you know what it's like.
Yeah, I know it is.
Instagram ban, I think, is worse though, because I don't use Facebook at all, so I'm not a Facebook guy anymore.
An Instagram ban would be a little bit tougher to deal with, just because that's where the majority. I think that's where most. I don't know. Facebook just seems to be for lonely people that are trying to convince themselves they're not lonely, or for bitching about one thing or another. And that seems to be kind of what Facebook is for.
For the people that just discovered social media at the age of 62, and they're trying to add all of their grandkids and their grandkids' friends.
And then they post about whatever random thing kind of pops in their head at any time, because that's what they think it's supposed to be about.
I love that.
Like, oh, we got to see little Jimmy today. It was so much fun. He's going into such a big boy.
Commenting on everything.
Yeah. Like, oh, you're so sweet these days.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you won't find much for the next 7 days on Facebook, probably, for Lifting Ugly. That's the point.
The last time I was on Facebook, so it's okay.
Moral of that story is exactly that. That's what we're going with.
That works.
If anyone that is obviously not watching right now, but is watching or listening in the future, is entertained in any sort of way and would like to donate monetarily and support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/liftingugly. You can join one of the many tiers there. Not tears, but tiers. Don't cry. Or both. You can cry about it while you do it. I don't care.
Just
so you can get a monthly subscription or monthly donation there, or you can get some stuff in return for sure by going to liftingugly.com and buying some cool Lifting Ugly gear. We have hats, we have shirts, we have sweatshirts, we have shorts, we have flags, as here and over there, that way. There that is. That one. which there are quite a few of them out in the world these days. We've had a few orders for them, so that is appreciated. Obviously, 2 of the orders are right in front of you right now. So
I got one of the boxes in last night, I think.
It should be. Yeah. I think it's the rest of what you ordered.
Oh, perfect. Okay, maybe. Cool.
It should be anyway. At least from what I saw in the notification. So you should have all of your new fun stuff to wear.
I did. I got the shirt. Super excited to put that on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Super excited. Which one you got?
The banner one.
Oh,
the black
okay. The sign. The Lifting Ugly sign. The sign.
I'm very excited to put it on.
Yes. Maybe if you do squats, you can do squatting in it.
Ooh, I'm going to use that as my pump cover while I'm benching.
Ooh.
And then when I rip it off, I'm like, oh, look at this sweet body, everybody.
That's right. The belly's out. Things are getting serious.
Things are getting real serious.
As soon as that belly comes out, play time is over.
The belly button is flashing, a.k.a. the Pico.
The Pico.
You know it's game time.
Also, at Lifting Ugly, I think I failed to mention this the last couple weeks. If you so desire to have one, or even both of us for some odd reason, help you to progress in your lifting needs, you can purchase online coaching at liftingugly.com. You can go to, I believe it is called the online coaching section. You can pick Alkai's name or my name, and just find all the happy fun stuff that we'll offer there for you. You can also do one-time donations. If you would like to donate to the podcast, you can do that there. Same tiers there as there are on the Patreon. It is just a one-time purchase. So that is helpful for you as well.
It's beneficial.
Last but not least, of course, for all of your, not all of your lifting needs, a lot of your lifting needs, almost all, especially for belts. If you need a nice sturdy belt, such as this belt.
Oh, I thought you were wearing it.
It's a little too thick and stiff still. It's a little uncomfortable to wear on a regular basis. But custom made. It has my last name, not just I just didn't put Bird in there because I really enjoy birds. It is because it is my last name. But such cool belts as I really enjoy. What is that?
Birds.
Ornithology.
Horticulture.
No, ornithology is the bird watching one.
Oh, what's horticulture then?
That's plants, I think.
Oh God. Okay.
Horticulturist.
Horticulture.
Horniculture.
Love it.
You're a horticulturist. So you can get custom made belts. Alkai over here has a custom made belt as well that he's had for 4 years now.
Creeping on 5.
That's still holding up, and believe me, he puts it through.
I do the ringer.
Yes, lots
Me
of.
Me and all my buddies just kind of really go to town on it.
On that one belt.
On that one belt.
There's a lot of pressure applied to that belt, and it's held up.
100%. Yeah. Lots of pushing.
Lots of pushing. Lots of bracing, as they say in the business.
Oh yeah. Lots of.
What else can they get from generalleathercraft.com?
Oh, man. We got wallets. We got custom belts. We got deadlift belts. We got bench belts. We got wallets. They got dog collars. They got shirts. They got knee wraps. They got wrist wraps. And according to the man himself, they are working on sleeves and elbow sleeves. Best believe when that drops, I'm buying all of it.
Sleeve and wrap city. Yeah, not like Rap City, but we're Rap City.
Talking about the exhausting process of wrapping someone's knees.
I don't know if I'll go knee wrap wise, but wrist wraps. I'll do the
totally.
wrist wraps.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't
they're
think
good too. They're stiff as hell.
that, and everyone knows the stiffer the better.
It only hurts if you fight it, guys.
It does. That is a fact. It's
hmm
science. That's a scientific fact, is what that is. So make sure you visit our friends, Pioneer Lifting Belts, at generalleathercraft.com. Again, you can get all those things. They are available. They're great to work with. Their customer service is amazing. They have
hmm
great warranties on their
They
products,
do.
and they stand by them
hmm
100%.
Yeah. When I broke that lever on my belt, I had it within what 5 days,
Yep. By the next squat
something like
day, it
that.
was ready to go.
It was ready to go.
So do you remember what you said about our listeners a couple weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
I can barely remember what I had for lunch yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say no.
You
wish I
mentioned
remembered.
how we have some of the laziest listeners out there.
Oh, we do. Yes,
Yes.
100%. Yeah.
So that has come through again this week because we had 0 entries for the Lifting Ugly Face of the Week for this week.
No way. Get on it, guys. Like it's already in the video. I know all of you guys record your shit anyway. Just
Right.
pause it at the most convenient time and screenshot it and then send it to us. It works out in your favor.
It does. I mean, you get discount codes, and some people I've even sent some free stuff. So you just depends on how generous I'm feeling, but you'll at least get something.
Well, at the very least, you get exposure.
Right. It'll put you out there. Benching faces. I'm looking for benching faces.
Ooh.
And I am now on this whole elephant trunking thing. Not that I want to. I just think it's a funny thing. And so if you want to,
I mean, it's a sweet phenomenon that only guys can really.
Well, the girls here have been trying to get on board with the elephant trunking.
So I've seen.
So yeah, they're making an effort.
They're doing their best, but you're lacking
Yeah.
a really critical item.
So the advice I can give you
Mhm.
is high doses of Winstrol, and you can possibly get a mini trunk going.
Oh, the baby
Might
trunk.
work. A little baby trunk.
Oh,
I'm just let that sink in for a little bit, marinate a little bit.
that's terrifying. But yeah,
Then
that
there's
is
never
very
an
true.
there's never an excuse of they couldn't find it.
Oh, it's there.
It's
It'll
prominent.
poke you right in the nose.
It will poke you in the nose, in the eye, wherever. If you're not careful, it'll do some damage. That's for sure.
So, lady listeners, take a bunch of tests, take a bunch of Winstrol, hit us back up in 2 years.
Get that
See
elephant.
if you can get some trunking.
So
Get your reps in.
it won't even take. Here's the funny thing. It probably takes about 2 weeks for that sucker to just start going nuts. So
Doing its thing. Yeah.
yeah.
I am
So there you go. That's right. So get on it. Let's see it. Let's make this happen. I do like the effort. I like the effort of the whatever the. I don't even know there was an elephant filter that you could do for your face, but
I think what the appeal of it was the fact that the trunk is super floppy and loose.
right.
So I think that's yeah. I need to get better trunking angles apparently.
Yeah, you need to talk to your brother.
Mm.
Your brother's got camera angles down.
He does. It's it's like that dim lighting overhead. The camera shoots up like it's perfect lighting.
And then he's got all the transitional effects and
because our buddy Drew is handling all that.
Oh, okay. And then all the inspiring background music to go right along with it.
That I give him shit for. Totally.
Da, 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 da. It's still not as bad as the I mean, it happens on Instagram a lot too. But if you go to good old TikTok, there's a lot of people like their workout videos, It has like somebody's part of somebody's motivational speech in the
Oh,
background.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
When they told you that you couldn't do it, you did it. You pushed through.
Dig deeper.
Yeah.
Dig deeper.
And it's like, oh yeah. This 225 is I'm the fucking man.
This half squat at 315 is going so well.
Yeah. I'm gonna put a motivational speech behind it so everyone knows how awesome I am and how motivated I am.
It's always like Ronnie Coleman or like I've heard like oh my goodness, of the Ronnie Coleman ones, and I'm like, all right, can we just can we move on? There are other people, you know.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear lightweight baby for the 800th fucking time, man.
Yeah.
For your literal lightweight, thank you.
Yeah, for you. Oh, it's lightweight. Yes, we know it's lightweight. We can see it's lightweight.
I can see that.
We can tell.
So.
It's like it's in the hole.
It's in the hole.
Anyone who watches golf, it's like, okay, yeah, we get it. You watched Caddyshack a couple hundred times.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Or Happy Gilmore references, or whatever you want to use for golf. It's your Ronnie Coleman impersonations are just as ridiculous.
I had a conversation with one of our other guards talking about how his buddy explains how Shooter McGavin is the real hero of the story. Gilmore comes in and steals his jacket.
Okay, so I want to hear how he's the hero of the story. I think I've heard this before, but I don't remember.
I mean, I don't know. I have tuned it out when I was listening because I was trying to deal with drug people, but I was like, yeah, I mean, sure, all right, whatever. It's not really the plot of an Adam Sandler movie, but yeah, I see what you're coming from.
Because he's the guy who's worked hard his whole life.
Oh yeah, he's established himself at
the golf course. Just to have his moment in the spotlight, to be taken over by some punk who has no business being there and doesn't even want to be there.
Mm-hmm. With a hockey stick.
Yeah. Grizzly Adams had a beard.
Ball.
This is old sports. Grizzly Adams did have a beard. I ate pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You eat pieces of shit for breakfast? No, that's not what I'm.
I can't remember the last time I watched that movie.
Well, then it's been too long.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Netflix is a carrier of Adam Sandler movies on a regular basis.
They're a proprietor of crapping out garbage Adam Sandler movies. Well, all the new ones are rough.
He signed, I can't remember how many, I think it was like a 6-movie deal with just exclusively with Netflix. And so, yeah. So then he's like, trying to figure out which ones of his buddies need a movie to star in.
Hey, Rob Schneider. Yeah. Do you need something?
Kevin James portraying the New Orleans Saints head coach
God.
It wasn't a bad movie, but they're definitely very quickly put together. You can tell.
Did you watch the Hubie Halloween one?
I actually thought that was really funny.
Really? And I heard nothing but negative things about it, so I stayed away from it.
I watched it with my kids.
Oh, okay.
And so I don't know. It's good. It has a ton of Saturday Night Live people in it.
Oh, okay.
So one of the funniest parts, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it and is going to be shocked by anything that goes on in an Adam Sandler movie. There's the radio host has this real almost sultry feminine voice that's going about the Halloween goings on, and then when they go to the radio station to broadcast the shenanigans that are happening, it's Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh my God. What an iconic voice.
And so it's him that has the sultry female voice. That's pretty. It's an entertaining little movie. I don't know why people think too much of Adam Sandler movies. It's like they go into it and they're like, oh, that was a terrible movie. I'm like, it's Adam Sandler. What'd you fucking expect?
Yeah. Well, I call it the snakes on a plane effect. Like, have you seen that movie?
I only made it through part of like
Okay.
the first part of it.
Basically, what I mean by that is like if you're gonna walk into a movie like Snakes on a Plane expecting to see a great movie, you're gonna walk out
Right.
disappointed, obviously. But if
Right,
you
and
walk
that's
into it knowing it's gonna be snakes on a plane, then you're not gonna be disappointed.
right. If you're disappointed in an Adam Sandler movie because the plot wasn't great, that's your fault for thinking that
Exactly.
the plots of his movies are spectacular. They're entertaining and funny. That's all it's supposed to
Yes. That is literally the entire point of any Adam Sandler movie is mindless television and entertainment.
be. And if you think that he's terrible at whatever he does, he's one of the richest people in Hollywood. So,
Who still dresses like a middle school basketball team
right.
with his,
And
with his double long pants and his 10-year-old Jordans.
oh, I know, his ratty ass shoes and oversized pants
Yeah.
and giant sweater. He could give a shit.
No, and that's what I love about him.
I know. He's hasn't changed from being like just every other dude on the planet.
100%.
So also, speaking of like TV shows, I have what I didn't think it would be an unpopular opinion, but apparently everyone thinks this 1883 show is so good, which is like a prequel to Yellowstone. I don't know,
Yeah,
have you seen Yellowstone?
I'm not huge on Yellowstone, but I did like 1883 more. I'm not saying I really like it. I'm just saying I like that better than Yellowstone.
How far into 1883 are you?
I mean, I've seen like it's Anthony watches it, so like I watched like the first 4 episodes or something, and then he continued watching it without me. But the last one that I watched, she got remarried to that Indian guy, the Native American guy, and I think that's it. Went their separate ways. And I think
I've liked Yellowstone. Like the last season wasn't as great. And I liked the first part of 1883, and then it just became this super dramatic nonsense with this girl. And oh dear, as we travel through this long, lonesome field, I've seen nothing out here. And oh, so much drama.
She's the worst character in the show, hands down.
I was like, will you shut the fuck up and can we get somebody else's perspective?
Like, honestly, they should just kill her off and continue with the show.
I know everyone was bitching when it first came out because they're like, I don't want to see a movie with Faith Hill and whatever his name is. And I'm like,
they did fine.
I was like, I would much rather see this show highlight them over that chick anymore.
Well, it's like after that first dude died, she immediately got with somebody else. I was like, she didn't really like that guy in the first place.
Well, you know, she's like every other woman on the planet. She got a little taste of the wiener and went crazy.
In like 1883 frontier, easy to get pregnant times.
Yes, stank bush.
Oh,
just not
we've
showering.
Been on the road for 3 months.
You have to like. This is what I always think. Like their sense of smell has to like be so deadened. At some point, right? I mean, because you're around people who haven't showered, and not only
brush their teeth, and all they do is smoke cigarettes.
They're sweaty and dirty for weeks on end, and then they're still getting down.
Well, they're balls deep in each other. Totally, it's weird. No, 100%. Like anytime I watch like a Renaissance era movie or like a night movie or like a frontier movie, I'm like, does anyone have any sense of how gross these people fucking are?
Right. Well, so I was watching like the new Vikings Valhalla. Like
how's that?
It's not bad. It like I don't know. So like I've watched the first Vikings, and then
the original show.
The original Vikings, and then The Last Kingdom. I don't know if you've seen The Last Kingdom.
No,
it's on Netflix. It's actually way better than Vikings.
I hope so,
anyways, this is almost Vikings got bad in the end. This is like a bridge between the two shows, almost like what happened in between. Okay. Not that it was meant to be that, but that's just kind of how it ended up. Anyway, so these guys come off this ship, and there's a girl with them, and so anyway, the dude from the place, you know, they have their little oh well, you're probably missing a hot bath. Oh well, a girl on the sea is missing a lot more than that. That is, stupid shit like that. So the
Yeah.
next thing you know, they're in the room, they're getting down, and then after they finish, then she gets in the bath. I was like, shouldn't you? Like, I would have been like, no, that's okay. You take your bath first.
I mean, yeah, and I feel like that's an age where like syphilis and like gonorrhea were just totally like everywhere.
It's like just give that a quick scrubbing,
hmm
and then we can
Like take the dude with you too, because he's just as gross.
Right.
It's a mutual thing.
He's probably got some buildup on the old sack of his that needs to be scrubbed down a bit.
What does Bert Kreischer say? Horse bath, pits and pussies.
Horse bath, that's right. Pits and pussies. Let's go. You got to get all the just wipe the crevices and be on your way.
Please, ugh.
At a minimum.
Like even just people that at work, like I mean, we plow through people at work just because we're a busy bar, but some people just have no sense of hygiene at all. Like they stink, no deodorant. You can tell they don't brush their teeth, or they just like, ugh.
They go days without bathing, and
well, especially like time periods like these, like Halloween and St. Patty's Day, when people are only focused on drinking, and they're just like neglecting their just basic hygiene. Like, can you go stink somewhere else, please?
Yeah, they get drunk. By the time they wake up, they're like, "Oh, I need breakfast." They go get breakfast.
Get their Beerios.
Yeah, and then they start drinking all over again to finish out the weekend. And the next thing you know, they go 3 drunken days without showering or even putting on deodorant or brushing their teeth. And life is rough for everyone around them.
These people are animals.
Oh, so anyway, that was fun. Talk some TV nonsense. And
I mean,
why is it it's funny how like that's the thought that it goes to mind, like during like Old West or Renaissance, or it's like,
how dirty are these people?
Yeah, like you're gonna do that, and like no one even like took a cloth or a rag to that first. And
like, aren't they along a river for majority of it? Like,
yeah, just kind of take a dip in the cool water. Let the
clean your balls off.
Just let the freshness wash away some of the top filth. Yeah.
Please, that top coat that's about a 1/4 inch thick at this point.
Right. Everyone's like full bush status, so everything gets pulled in.
We'll call it Brambly.
Brambly.
Got tumbleweeds.
And then it's funny. So you watch like Game of Thrones, where they're like full on fellatio status, and I'm like, that is bullshit.
Yeah. Well,
like unless you're like plugging your nose, and I don't believe that was probably much of a thing back then.
I mean, unless maybe that's just a royalty thing because people can stay clean.
Is you get that the royal puss? That makes it. Let me tug on your royal balls.
Have you seen a hall pass? What is that? What do they call it? Fake chow?
Yeah. Fake chow.
That was kind of his senior quote. Sometimes you got to fake chow.
That movie is. I'm always surprised when like how many people have not seen that movie.
It's a good movie.
Like my favorite part is when that drunk chick goes back to the hotel.
I was literally just about to say that.
And she just shats all over the shower wall, and it splits perfectly. Like
the thong line.
There's a thong. And I feel better now. So, okay, now they're like, oh, good.
Like, do you spray down the walls and get after it, or do you send her home?
I guess it depends on how much you've had to drink.
I guess we're showering off and getting after it.
Yeah. That's a level of desperation, I think, at that point.
I am eager.
Jeez. How bad you want to prove a point?
Oh my god! Let me show you how desperate I am.
So you can tell your wife, see, I can pull. I can still pull it.
After she shit her pants violently.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. It's so gross.
It's
That's
disgusting.
That's one of those ones that happens and you're just like, it takes you a minute because you're like, did
I
that
I
really
almost
happen?
choked in the movie theater when I saw that for the first time. I was like, how did they even think of that?
Yeah, of all the things, it's like, you know, it'd be really great
If
is if she sneezed and just blew it thong pattern all over the wall. That would
it's
be
the
amazing.
thong split that kills me
Oh,
every
yeah.
time.
Yeah, it could have been a lot. They could have toned it down. It wouldn't have been near as effective. That
No.
split that made magic happen.
That was primo, for sure.
Well, let's move on to
the actual topic.
All right, so this, I asked people what they thought we should talk about. So I got one okay answer, one I'm going to go ahead and say terrible answer, and then your girl Chelsea gave us this topic that we decided to do today.
Nice.
So
big ups to Chelsea.
I was happy that she came through. And so I just want to go ask you, as far as in like strength sports, and me personally, I have a hard time like classifying anybody in the sport as a hero.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe respect, like who has your respect in the industry? Some of your top levels.
So my top levels. I guess we'll kind of touch on everything. I mean, I'm not, but the whole bodybuilding thing is not something that I'm super well versed on.
Right.
But I definitely dig. Do you know who Johnny O. Jackson is?
Right. Yep.
Yep. Big fan of Johnny O. Jackson. I like Branch Warren.
Blue collar lifters.
Yeah, the blue collar Texas lifters. Like I super dig that. They work with Josh too, so I think that's why I'm a big fan. In regards to like strongman, let's see. I'm a huge fan of Martins Licis. I mean, I love Eddie just because he's an absolute troll and he fucks with everybody.
Right.
And then big Brian fan. God, who else? Marcus Felix. He's got the Hercules hold. Whatchamacall right now. And let's see. It's kind of hard for the powerlifting one just because I dig so many different dudes and chicks for different reasons.
Right.
God, for like multiply. I'm a huge Dave Hoff fan. I love Brian Carroll. Single ply, you got Blaine Sumner, who I'm a huge fan of. God, for Raw. Oh my God. Everybody's switching over to Raw now. For Raw, you got John Hack, huge fan. The dude's an absolute house. Classic Raw. Oh my God. Oh my. I'll let you take over because I need to think about this more. I need like there's too many people. Like I need to think about this more. I think as the conversation continues, I'll sprinkle more stuff in. But
like I'm not
shit in bed.
I don't think I can break it down into like that sort of kind of categorization.
Mm-hmm.
As far as kind of the classic Raws versus Raws and all that.
Yeah,
I agree a lot with you in the bodybuilding wise. I mean, respect factor goes to those guys who put in that extra work, that have been, grinding it out for a good portion of their lives just to see even just a little bit of success. Which totally. Those Texas boys down there, definitely just the way they lift, the style they lift. And maybe it's because they lift more of an aggressive, like powerlifting style.
It just seems gritty, a lot of barbell work, a lot of sweat, a lot of rust. Like whatever gym they train out of. I can't remember what it is, but
It's I think it's a Metroflex down
it
there.
is right. Okay, because there's a bunch of dudes
original.
out of there that train out of there that are absolute houses.
And they're not afraid to go heavy. It's not about light weights and heavy and a lot of reps. It's about lifting hard, lifting heavy, and just going for as long as you can. And so I've always had a lot of respect for that. I always remember when Phil Heath posted a video of himself squatting 405 for 6 or something like that. And I was like, really? I mean, your legs are as big as they are and you're as developed as you are. And that's where you're at. I'm like, huh, okay. And it's just because they don't train that way. They don't train to lift heavy. They train for all the symmetry and that's it.
Yeah.
They don't care about the weight that they lift. And so it's a little bit harder. I think there's definitely people in that industry that you can have more respect for, but a lot of it's just for the effort that they put in. I mean, look at even someone like Dana Lynn Bailey, who started out as second place the first year that they did women's physique in the Olympia. But she's also moved on. She did powerlifting and then now she just makes money. So now, I mean, that's what she does now. She doesn't do the competing really anymore. But what her and her husband, I mean, you can think they're kind of douchey clowns if you want, and maybe they kind of are, but they've done a lot for the industry and and for growing it and growing the popularity. So, you got to have a little bit of respect for that.
Totally.
Strongman wise, I mean, I think of like the most recent things, and that Alexei Novikov and just his country, not just the country where he's from, but the country that he lives in, gets invaded by Russia, and then 2 weeks later gets second place at the Arnold in the strongman event. He had every reason to back out, and then had every reason to have a lot on his plate to where he couldn't perform that well. But I mean,
he showed up for his country, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's that's big time shit. That's probably close to like what I would consider as like a hero performance.
Totally.
Yeah, someone who has everything to lose personally and is at home life, but still just comes out and shows up. And so I have a lot of respect for him. Obviously, Brian Shaw, and a lot of for Brian, like you can't really find a person to say anything bad about the dude. Like I've met him. I've met him a couple times, and of course, he's super cool to like fans and people that want to meet him. He always makes time for him, which is better than what I would be if I was in his position. I'd be annoyed as shit half the time and wouldn't want to talk to anyone, and I would be classified as probably a pretty big asshole to most people came across. Just because I get so sick, I'd be like, dude, leave me alone. I'm eating. I'm with my family. I'm doing whatever. Quit fucking bothering me. But he doesn't do that. He's super cool about it. I like Eddie. I think I think he talks maybe a little more than he needs to, but
well, I meant from a standpoint of he's a total punk ass, and that's kind of he's like the annoying younger brother.
Yeah, but he's not afraid to say it directly to somebody. So it's not like he doesn't just hide behind his social media and call things out. He does it in person, and he got his ass knocked down like 3 times by Hafthor yesterday.
Yeah, that was rough to watch.
And I used to not have a lot of respect for Hafthor because I thought he was kind of a crybaby.
I mean, he still is,
which he is, but to his credit, after the fight he did go up to Eddie and he talked. He was talking to him. He gave him a hug. He was ready to kind of just squash whatever issues they have, and so. I have some respect for that. Just you guys threw down, you did your thing. Now, let whatever the issue was be done and move on, type of thing. Powerlifters. Yeah, I mean, John Hack, obviously, he's just for his size and the amount of weight that he can move all the way around.
Is insane.
Yeah. You have Julius who's chasing that bench, and he's, I don't know, he's just a fun guy to watch. He
looks good right now too. Like he's actually cut a little bit of weight. The dude's looking fantastic.
And anyone who watches his social media, he's he posts a lot that's helpful for other people.
Mm-hmm.
So he posts a lot of things to kind of help you if you're looking to increase your bench, and
Mm-hmm.
so he's not just trying to withhold everything so that he can
No.
continue to be better. He's putting it out there for everyone else, and
that's what I like about a lot of Josh's lifters. They all post content like that. I mean, Julius does it. Thomas Davis, TD Smash does that. He was the one who hit the first 700 raw bench in a full power meet. You got Derek Thistlethwaite, who's, in my opinion, one of the strongest motherfuckers to be walking the planet right now. He's a 242. He squatted 9, pulled 9, benched a little over 5. He's always posting good shit. God, who else? You have Steve Johnson, who actually works at a Metroflex in Texas, the same spot with Johnny O. Jackson. He's always posting good stuff. They're always reposting their lifters as well, which is something that's really nice, which is something that I really appreciate about Brian too. You can kind of tell he's making that transition to focus on other things, like making his, he's got his own little supplement company. He's got the Evolution Athletics. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then even like the Shaw Classic, I'd like to see that become the new standard of like, guess like the new, I don't want to say circuit where you got like the Arnold, you got World's Strongest Man, and then the Shaw Classic would be sick. But I like that he's giving back to all of his lifters. I super appreciate that. It's not something you see a lot in the sport in general, especially powerlifting.
Well, and he's not just putting his name on something that somebody else is doing all the work for.
No, he's in it.
Yeah, he's helping. He's helping design everything and come up with all the events and everything. So he puts a lot into that himself. Another person that we're not going to go just from a personal level, watching, and it'll be interesting to see what happens this next weekend at the King of the North, is watching Austin Hudson Beiler,
dude.
And so like my respect factor for him and all those guys that train out of the pit up there. I mean, those guys and girls up there are
they work hard, man. Like
they're killing shit, and
they all do killer.
And so I want to see anyone who doesn't follow Austin. He's 190. He's in the 190 pound range.
Austin is he's way lighter than that. He's like in the 170s.
And just posted a single of 700 pounds.
700 fucking pounds and smoked it. Like if he can get that on the platform on top of whatever else he's gonna pull and bench, like that, it blows my mind, man. Like, I mean, he was doing really well with whoever he was working with beforehand, but he started working with Joe Sullivan, who in my opinion is one of the smartest powerlifters and coaches you can possibly ask for. And whatever they've been implementing is clearly working, because he's about to smash a huge fucking total, which is that his body weight is insane. So I'm excited to see what he qualifies for and where he gets after this. So I can't wait to watch that happen. I kind of wish I was going to be able to go up there and do it, but it is what it is.
A little far away at this point.
Yeah, a little far away. And I mean, it'd be cool because they're hosting another one in June, right?
The pit?
No. 605.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So they're doing the Black Hills Classic will be at 605 Grit again in June. So that's the one that Nicole and Shelby are going to be doing.
I would love to be able to do that. See, if I can fit it in, that would be fantastic. But what is it? March? It's supposed to be April, May, June. Like, as much as I would love to make that happen, because I love that gym. I love that meet that they hosted because it was fantastic. The lifters were great. Like, that was hands down the best day of my life. So when you're talking about, like, even just people that you know that you respect and that you look up to, like meeting Nathan that day, that other guy, Justin, obviously Seth, meeting that dude, Kevin, meeting Austin, even the other chick lifters, like that was a fantastic day, and watching everybody do their thing was so killer. Like that was an unmatched energy I'm still trying to look for. Like I'm hoping every single meet that I do is gonna feel like that. But that was something that can't be matched, man. Like that was fantastic.
Unfortunately, Seth will not be at the Black Hills Classic this year.
Yeah, he's doing a
Bar bender. He's doing bar benders,
Yeah,
which is the same weekend. But there is in Denver, there is the Mile High that is the WRPF event that is going to be in August.
Oh.
And then I just got asked I haven't got a hold of the guy yet, so I'm not 100% sure on it yet. But I did get asked about sponsoring another strongman event. I think the weekend after that one in Denver as well.
Oh, that's sick.
So hopefully I'm financially recovered from the 3 that are coming in May and June, so that we can go ahead and do that. But so anyway, there's a lot of, and I would say I have a lot of respect for really just the majority of the amateur competitors, especially when it comes to powerlifting, because, well, and even a lot of the pros, but this isn't their primary. This is it's a hobby, right? Yeah. They all have jobs, they have families, they have things that they're responsibilities that they have to take care of. Yet they're still finding the time to go, grind it out, put the work in, get better, and then do these competitions just as a way to, just it's a goal to shoot for, something to make it all worthwhile. And I mean, that's huge. That's a big thing. It's not easy. I mean, because it takes one little thing to go wrong and you're done. You can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, like we've talked about, we all have that one thing that helps us feel normal and get through all the bullshit that we have to deal with. So regardless if it's something that it consumes your entire life or something that's just a hobby, like the fact that you're getting after it is always a good thing. And it's, definitely nice being in it. Like Convoy is a good environment. Like we're constantly surrounded by people that are fantastic. Everybody's working hard to do the same. Group of people, whether you're doing bodybuilding, strongman, or powerlifting, everybody's incredibly supportive. I definitely miss that environment a whole lot. Just when Ruben, it was kind of nice to have all those people around. Oh,
yeah, I can hear you now. There we go.
Ray. Oh, can you hear me? Sorry, what was like computer totally shit the bed.
Well, you were cutting out when you were talking about the guys that you're working with at Convoy, and then you came back on. You're talking about when you were up here with, doing the same thing.
So when you're talking about just like, they don't have to be famous people. It's people that you respect and that you enjoy training around. So it's like I was saying, whether it's bodybuilding, strongman, powerlifting, or whatever, we have the greatest group of people that are there to support regardless of what they're doing, whether it's competitively, whether they're having fun with it. It's a very motivating environment. So when you have people around you that you respect and that you super enjoy being around, it makes training a hell of a lot easier. So that aspect of having good training partners is something that can't be diminished. Like it's very, very, very important. And that's something that I can attest to for sure.
And say, even if you don't really have necessarily a specific training partner, if you have the environment and the people around that are that motivational factor or inspirational, not really. I mean, just the energy that they bring is extremely helpful. So outside, we'll make this one a little quicker. Outside of any sort of lifting, anything like that, who would you classify? And this one, I'll go ahead and say, as a hero for you in what you do?
When it comes to work ethic and getting my ass out of bed and making sure I'm getting done what I have to get done. I mean, parents, obviously. My dad works his ass off. My stepmom works crazy hours that are absolutely absurd. They get everything done. They provide for the family. They make sure everyone's situated. Same thing with my stepdad and my mom. Stepdad is working his absolute ass off to make sure he's incredibly successful to provide for his kids and myself. Like this, everything in the room right now, they were more than happy to help me with, and that's something that I can't, be thankful enough for. My mom is always taking care of all of us, so that's obviously something that's fantastic. She came out. It's just, how do you how do you say thank you to someone that you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like there's not a like thank you doesn't do it justice, but it's like I don't know. I try to emulate my daily actions and then my attitude off of how they respond to situations, So when it comes to work ethic, I like to thank my parents 100%. When it comes to my level-headedness, my grandfather passed away in high school. He has 4 daughters, so my mom and her sisters and my grandma. So he definitely taught me how to pick your battles and learning when to give effort into something and know when to pull back. So my dad's mom, so my grandma, embracing family and unity. She was a minister for a very long time until she passed. So her style of, I don't want to say teaching, but the way she ran her congregations, I guess, was not really a preachy aspect. It was more of like a let's get together and hang out with family, which is something that, obviously you're going to cherish because you love being around your family and your loved ones. Learning how to take care of people, learning how to be loving, saying thank you and I love you and all those kinds of things. More work ethic for my stepdad because he works his ass off. Learning how to be understanding, that's something that I got from my mother, and that's something that can't be replaced. So learning how to keep an open mind. And I've definitely learned a lot from my younger brother, Kainoa. Learning how to say no, knowing when to stand up for yourself and where to draw the line is something that I struggled with for a long time. So it was definitely something that I learned from someone that's younger than me. God, who else? I think that just about does it. I mean, I've obviously learned a lot of things from my friends, but I want to highlight the people that have,
right, made
the most impact.
Right. And so, I mean, mine all goes along the same lines. I mean, my learning how to deal with, I guess, keeping a sense of normalcy about you and dealing with traumatic events. My dad has always been somebody that I've had to lean on and rely on. Stupid fuzziness. So I don't know. People that know me, some people know, some people don't. My dad lost his first wife and daughter in a plane crash, and then and it was a stupid feedback thing. Hold on. So they were on a commercial flight, and there was a naval jet that was out on just flying around and crashing into the commercial jet, killing everyone on the
shit.
So he had that, married my mom, my brother, my sister, myself came along, and then I had a little brother that died when he was 2 years old, and so my dad is able to keep the family together, keep himself together, during those time periods when all that had to be rectified, which has been something that I've had to rely on and unfortunately deal with some kind of similar situations to a certain extent, and be able to kind of get from him how I don't know how to keep living life under those situations. And then my mom is a very compassionate person, and very tolerant. She had me as a child, so she was an extremely tolerant person and
Yeah.
forgiving. And so that's something that I always try and remember. I fail at that a lot because I can be very intolerant of other people, and I feel like I have a compassion for people to a certain extent. But then I also have, from my dad as well, the ability to know when enough is enough, and when there's people are trying to take advantage of kind of goodwill and stuff like that. And then another one the other one I'd classify as a hero to me is, and it all probably sounds a little cheesy to someone who doesn't know, would be my oldest daughter, just because of the things she's gone through in her life and had to deal with starting from a very young age. And for her to be in the situation she is and be the person she is, she could have used those things as an excuse to really just kind of fly off the handle. But she's a stable adult. Since she is 18, she holds down 2 jobs, is getting promotions. She was accepted into a university to keep going if she decides to go that route.
Hell yeah, man.
All while, dealing with constant trauma in her life. And so to me, that's a big thing. She handled those things a lot better than I did when I was young. And she came out better on the other side and dealing with those. And I don't know. I think I kind of went the downhill way for a little while before I eventually kind of got my shit together to
Fair. No, we've all done it, man.
So
we've all done it.
No, I look at her definitely as somebody that is doing things that are better than I did, at that age, and handling things in a better way that I handle them. And so of course she's my daughter. I love her regardless, but that's a very, to me, a heroic act on her part is to be able to be the person that she wants to be and develop that into that person, regardless of the trauma that she's faced in her life.
She's a rock star, dude.
Yeah. So those are mine. I mean, mine are all family oriented. As far as like the people that most people will track as heroes is, kind of people look at athletes as, heroic. I don't see it. Obviously there's military people that have done heroic things, but they don't necessarily, I don't know if it sounds bad, but they don't affect my life necessarily.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you have a respect for it, but it's not something that's
right.
completely directly made a personal impact.
Right, and I don't know all their stories, and nor do I. I don't need to. There's a lot of people have been heroes throughout the history of time, and but the ones that I see, the ones that affect me, the ones that have a direct impact on me in my life, those are them. I mean, they're all my family. They've been the ones. Luckily, I mean, I'm very lucky, and I'd say you're very lucky to be able to have families that have been able to have that kind of impact, because I know a lot of people, including people I've been married to, that their families are not people that they could look to as being heroes and being someone they can look up to and follow.
Absolutely, man.
So, I'm grateful for that, and it's awesome. And so it's what I try and be a better person. I try and be the people, I try and take on those attributes that I see from those people in my life, to make myself a better person. It doesn't always work.
But
a lot of
it's
times.
the effort that's what counts. Though.
So yeah, but I'd say I'm glad that you have your family that falls in those categories along with my own. I'd say then we're definitely both lucky to have that. And so regardless as screwed up as we may sound when we talk on here, overall we're fairly well-adjusted people.
Trauma makes the best humor. So
that's right. All right, so let's move to everyone's favorite game show, White Lights, Red Lights.
Oh yeah.
All right, you're up. What do you got for me?
I'm up. Oh man.
What's your story? Or
what's my story?
Or are you gonna do a plain introduction?
This is a long weekend. My brain's it's all frazzled out.
Let's just do a quick
Let's
rundown.
do a quick one.
Okay.
All right. Powerlifting rules. What we are here for is the best total. I don't care about a dot score. I want a total. I want you smashing numbers and setting total records. You know what I mean? This is what we're talking about. In order to get that done, you have to get at least 2 white lights as a passing score. 3 judges, 2 side judges, 1 head judge. You got to get at least 2 of those motherfuckers to think that your lift is good. Unfortunately, if you get 1 white light or 2 reds, it is not a passing score. 3 reds, even worse.
You kind of
That's
shit the
the
bed.
name of the game.
All right. So this inspired by recent events that have taken place, we have a sports beef versus segment.
Okay.
So obviously, first off, we already know how the physical results went, but in your mind, an Eddie Hall versus Hafthor Bjornsson, who gets the white, who gets the red?
As a whole, I could have given 2 fucks if this ever happened ever. But I mean, like, I'm not a huge Thor fan. So I was hoping Eddie was going to be able to close the gap and take the W, but he clearly didn't. So are you wanting me to give my lights to either one of the guys? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, one or the other. Who do you like better?
Oh, Eddie for sure. I'll give him 2 whites and 1 red. The 1 red being sometimes you may talk a little bit too much.
Goes a little too far.
A little too far. Yeah. And then got slept for it. So
yeah. To me, like Hafthor reminds me of Eminem. Like,
yeah,
he's got a lot of talent. He's, in his craft, but then is super sensitive when anyone says anything that he doesn't like.
Oh yeah, he goes off.
It's like, just deal with it. It's not that bad. It's he's fucking with you, and you're letting him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this one is a little bit before your time.
Okay, let's see if I can get
it. Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird.
Oh, you're asking the one guy who doesn't know shit about basketball.
You know who Magic Johnson is.
I do, and I know who Larry Bird is.
You know who Larry Bird is.
But I never watched basketball to be like, oh yeah, I have a definitive answer for this one. I'll give it to Magic Johnson just because that South Park episode they did about him is one of the funniest things ever. How you can cure AIDS if you drink $100,000 a day.
And he proved you can.
And he proved you can.
And it's become it's become the standard of anyone who does come down with HIV.
All I know is that Larry Bird looks awful now.
Oh yeah.
And looking at his face gives me 3 reds for sure. And alcoholic nose is terrifying.
Yeah, Larry Bird is not an attractive human being.
No, he aged like cheese in the sun.
he was always an ugly man.
Yeah, but this is like new level.
Yeah. He's always looked like he's from a small town in Indiana.
Like he's not like Yellow Man ugly, but he's definitely up there.
Yeah, I gotcha. So this one for me is hard just because this was like
that's your era. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like my most impressionable time in my life was during the Magic Bird, like tail end of Larry Bird, like the height of Magic Johnson's career. Mm-hmm. I love both of them. Just like Larry Bird's work ethic, and like when I hear people talk about him, like he was such an asshole on the court. Like he would just run his mouth to try and get under people's skin, so that they would like throw a punch at him or they would foul him or whatever. Yeah, right. So that was his goal, is just to get under their skin so he could take advantage. He was a great shooter. He had an infamous like no jump shot, like, which I respect as somebody who can't jump. Like
This white man can't.
his feet would come off like the ground like this much. And
I mean, he's tall and fucking.
Yeah, I do. I remember watching games where he would come out. When they brought him out of the game, he'd go right over to the sidelines and he would have to lay flat on his back because his back was so shot.
Yeah.
So he would lay on his back, and then when he'd go back in, he'd get help up. He'd go out and play basketball with his just completely jacked up back. He did that for like 2 years, which I always thought was incredible. And Magic Johnson was just like skill beyond skill, especially for that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I have a tough time with this one. I'd say I'd probably give an edge a little bit to Magic Johnson just because I got to watch him play in person a couple times.
Oh, nice.
Being in that area. And so that's why I'm going to give. Plus, I'm a Lakers fan. Not as much right now because it's more of the LA LeBrons and not really the Lakers anymore.
Yeah.
But normally.
LA LeBrons. Are you going to watch that Magic Johnson show on HBO?
I've been thinking about it. I've heard some good things about it. I'll probably check it out at some point.
Mm-hmm. It's got John C. Reilly in it, so it can't be too bad.
Right. And hopefully it's not like his overly dramatic efforts that he's done a couple times. All right. Next one. Tyson versus Holyfield.
Before we even get into that, so Mike is huge in like the weed industry now.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you saw it, but he has an edible.
Yes, the
edible ears. He's trolling himself.
Cannabis ears. Right. But like what better marketing campaign is there than that?
No, literally none. Like you trolled yourself to the highest point. You're making so much money off of weed that you could just make edible Holyfield ears.
Right. It's like, yeah, I did it. Now look, I'm going to make more money off of it than I did even back then. Because I'm tempted to buy. I don't even do any of that, and I'm tempted to buy edible ears just to be able to say, look, I have Tyson edible ears.
Holyfield ears. Yeah. If I had to. I'm going to give it to Holyfield. Like, I really like Mike Tyson, but the fact that Tyson bit his ear was a sign that he was threatened by Holyfield's presence. And, I'm going to give it to Holyfield. Totally. Three whites to Holyfield.
When it comes to boxing, Holyfield, I think, definitely takes it because he had Mike Tyson's number. Like, he knew... He was one of the only guys that could control him. Mm-hmm. And so, but I think when it comes, obviously we know more of Mike Tyson because he's more out in the limelight. Like you don't really see anything of Holyfield anymore.
No.
On a personal level, Mike Tyson seems like would be a very entertaining guy to hang around.
Yeah. A smoking session with Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Not so much back when he was boxing and beating up.
No.
What's her name from the Cosby Show?
Oh my god!
Or no, was that who it was? Anyway, whoever he was married to at that time.
Yeah.
That he punched her a few times, which would. When everyone's like, "Well, how much money would it take for you to take a punch from Mike Tyson?" It's like I don't know. Ask her.
Yeah.
She got paid to take a punch from Mike Tyson.
Yeah, and she ate a few of them pretty hard.
Yeah, she did. So, and that's without gloves.
Oh,
straight fist to face.
Just raw dog Tyson.
Yeah. All right, last one: Manning versus Brady.
I think I like Brady more now that he's on the Buccaneers.
Right.
So when it comes to someone being the greatest of all time, it might be him. So I'll give it to Brady. And watching his post-Super Bowl celebration with the Buccaneers where they're just tossing the trophy at each other. Did you watch that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And when he was so hammered, he needed to be escorted out. I'll give it to Brady. And I also think the Mannings are mouth breathers. So we'll do We'll give 3 whites to Brady.
Yeah.
Except for
Unfortunately-
kissing his son, that's a little much.
On the mouth.
Yeah, have you seen that shit?
Yeah, that's not my
Well,
cup of tea, but
the last one that I watched, he was like getting a massage. It was on ESPN too, and the son's walking away. He's like, "I'm not done yet." Like, you have the hottest wife on the planet, and you'd rather open mouth kiss your 13-year-old son. It's so gross.
definitely a European vibe to that.
Oh, it's progressive.
I would have to give it to Brady. He's definitely a better quarterback and all that happy, fun stuff.
Mm-hmm. All the sports ball things.
All the go sports type of activities. Go sports. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. As a reminder, make sure you go to generalleathercraft.com, visit our friends at Pioneer Lifting Belts,
Mm-hmm.
and go get a belt from them or what have you, whatever they carry.
Or if you like wearing dog collars, buy a dog collar.
Right. And if you are really into wearing dog collars, maybe you can put your own little spikes on the inside of the collar for added enjoyment.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's nice. I like that.
Different strokes for different folks.
Literally
And figuratively speaking. Different
Love
strokes.
that. Love that journey.
All right. All right, we will be back next weekend for episode number 22. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the Lifting Ugly podcast. This was episode 21. We will see you next week, and we are out of here.
Peace out. Peace out.